Previously on the Toon Goons.
You want to just talk about Pokemon for a bit?
And now, the conclusion. I mean, yeah, sure, I love them all, but I love every Pokemon. I'm very biased. I love every animal and animal-based fictional creature.
I like to imagine that the local... You can stop. It's just going to be... I've been Nicky, he's been Tooch. I feel like the localization team knew exactly what they were doing when they named it Litten, but they're going to pretend to their boss that they don't know that that's a teen thing.
Yeah.
That means drugs or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've just referred to something being lit as just something being really dope.
Yeah, it's good in in a way that typically applies to like parties or party type thing. It's good in a way that teens like it, so it's suspect.
And then like Rowlet, duh. But then Poplio, I'm shaky on the etymology of.
Yeah, I looked it up. It comes from the Hawaiian word for a seal.
Oh.
And let me look it up.
That's the best homework I've ever seen them do. At least I don't know. That just sounds that's good because especially for seals, because up until this point we've had seal and spheal. And you know what spheal is? It's a sphere seal.
Yeah.
Because he's
round. Poplio may be a combination of Pop and Leo from Leo Holo Ika Uwawa, the Hawaiian name for the Hawaiian monk seal, meaning, and this is dope, dog that runs in rough water.
Yeah. That's...
I'm not crazy about Poplio's design, but I don't hate it as much as, like, a lot of people do. Or maybe a lot of people assume everybody else does. I don't think I've seen anybody really, really shit on Poplio.
I mean, I have, like, I've seen a little bit of it, and I've also seen responses to it. Like, a couple people I know, like, they kind of shit on, they kind of had a knee-jerk reaction just to the new Pokemon in general, because I feel like that's just a thing that some people do, is that, like, it takes them, like, the rest of the day to, like, warm up and accept that there's new Pokemon. Because it's like, people forget that, like, people normalize older Pokemon. The older Pokemon are, the more normalized they become, and then new Pokemon, they're like, well, this thing looks dumb, though! And I'm like, homie.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a stylistic difference to every generation. Like, these guys would have looked kind of Rowlet would have looked out of place in Gen 1. Litten would have looked fine. I think the other two could have passed in Gen 1.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the way I put it. I don't know how much of this is nostalgia, but I really think Gen 1 has the best starters.
Gen 1 does have, I mean, it definitely has the best starter evolution lines, just as a whole, as their design.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that all 9 are good.
Yeah.
And I would say it's the only gen where the second form is anything. Normally, it's just like a smaller version of the guy you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of think we shouldn't bother with them anymore. Like, what was the last one that was, like, even a little bit interesting? And I kind of want to say it was Combusken.
Yeah, I was about to say Combusken's good.
Combusken's good because he looks different from the other two. He's not just like the middle frame in an Animorphs cover.
Yeah. That's true. And, like, but, like, even then, like, it is still a Torchic becoming a Blaziken, but it's still different. Like, it's just a tall, mad chicken with limbs.
Yeah.
But not like an angry fire person. He
starts at a small chicken, then a big chicken, then a chicken Gajinka.
Yeah.
Like Blaziken is already his own Gajinka.
That's extremely true. Which is just there are a subsection of Pokemon like that.
See also Lucario.
But this also brings up the question, since we're talking about middle evolutions of starters, like what is that war turtle fuzz? He's fuzzy. What is it? It falls off. What the what? Does his fur somehow morph into guns? He's fuzzy, and I never got it. I love it. I love it. I don't get it.
Have you heard the Chinese Zodiac Firestarter theory?
I saw that, and it's interesting.
It's interesting, but tenuous.
Yeah.
The idea is that every Firestarter is a member of the Chinese Zodiac. We've got the dragon, Charmander's the dragon, Cyndaquil is the rat, which I'll grant you.
Yeah.
Torchic is the chicken, or the rooster. Chimchar is the monkey. Tepig is the pig. Alright, all good. Fennekin would have to be the dog, and I don't like that.
I mean, foxes are canids.
Yeah, they're canids, but it's like, yeah. I feel like, And then, did I miss one? No, I didn't. And then Litten would have to evolve into a tiger for it to fit. Because there's that whole bit about the cat not being in the Chinese Zodiac.
Yeah. I mean, it's got those stripy ankles, so it's feasible.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever had a proper tiger. I remember when I was 7, I saw a Electabuzz card from kind of a different distance, and I thought he was a bipedal tiger. Think about it.
Yeah.
One of the cards? Yeah.
What the fuck even is Electabuzz supposed to be, now that I really think about it? He's almost a cat, but then it's just like he's got all
I think he's supposed to be an alienoid.
He looks like a fucking like a mascot, like in terms of like the Philly Fanatic. He's just a thing. He's a marketable what's-it.
He's Olympic mascot Izzy.
Yeah, right? But yeah, I'm super hyped for the games, and it's like the starters are always cool, but I'm always after okay, what's on Route 1 though?
Yeah, I saw our buddy Daniel, Senor Pac-Man, on Twitter saying who's the shitty Bidoof? Who's the Rattata? Who's the chicken shit rodent that you stuck with for the first gym?
Yeah. It's so true.
I like the box legendary design, especially Moon.
Oh, I love the legendary. I love both legendaries design. I love it's a big moon bat creature.
Yeah, he's a Kirby final boss.
Yeah, and then the lion just looks like a mech.
The lion looks like a very good Voltron knockoff.
Honestly, because he's mostly white, he looks like the lion that turns into Gao Gaigar, which is a whole reference and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think about typing? Because we don't really have I guess fire? We already did a fire lion though recently, but whatever.
That's true. Maybe they're dual type legendaries?
I don't know. Would it be fire fairy? That'd be kooky. Because fairy also, they've kind of used fairy as a light type, because we don't have one, but we got a dark type.
I feel like that would be, if either ones are fairy, it might be the moon one. Just because.
If it was dark fairy? That would actually be fucking dope.
That'd be dope as shit, yeah.
That's some Maleficent shit.
I like it.
We might release this just as a separate episode, dude.
Yes.
I do have a legitimate concern, in that I hope they've learned from Gen 3, because the fact that this takes place in Poke Hawaii says to me that there's going to be a lot of surfing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the main way to rectify that is to just have a lot of Pokemon you can fight while surfing. Have a variation of at least 5 to 6 wild Pokemon on any sea route.
Yeah, totally. Although that's
but you're gonna have to swap them out. It'll be tough. But I was talking to my other sister Lucy about this. She's like, I don't ever start with the water types. You're gonna get 20 you have 20 to pick from later, and you don't want to be locked into the chump you started with. And I definitely get that.
Yeah.
The only water I start with is Squirtle. Because he's my boy. He and I are knuckleheads from back in the day.
I honestly always try to go with, I always just end up liking the water types the best. This time is different. And on one hand, it was like, man, everyone loves the owl, though, and I hate to look like somebody who's just following a trend because I legitimately want to pick my fave Pokemon, but it's like, also, it's a rare occasion that I'll go with specifically the grass starter. It's a rare occasion, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go with the grass starter this time.
I think there are only 3 grass starters that are good. I think there's Bulbasaur, Turtwig, and now Rowlet.
Turtwig's really good. I love Turtwig.
I think Turtwig, that family...
So good.
I'm going to say this now in a public forum. The Turtwig family is the best designed starter family they've ever made.
I want like a...
Torterra is fucking brilliant.
I want like a bonsai planter in the shape of Torterra.
That is one of the single smartest Pokemon designs they've literally ever done.
I love it.
And I didn't start with Turtwig at the time. I'm like, oh fuck, Chimchar, look at me. But, if I were to ever replay Platinum, which I actually really like Platinum. Part of it is because I skipped Diamond and I fell off after Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah.
And then came back for Platinum. And then it was dope.
I actually I was just talking about this today with somebody, like, there's one egregious error, like one difference that I didn't like that they did differently in Platinum than they did in Diamond and Pearl that I liked better in Diamond and Pearl. In Platinum... They do the thing where it's like, you know, you get your Pokemon and your rival immediately wants to fight you. But in Diamond and Pearl, they don't do that. In Diamond and Pearl, like, that didn't happen, and I remember it throwing me for the biggest fucking loop as a kid, and I just had this vivid, just like, now I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. For the first time in my Pokemon-filled life, I'm not just going through the motions.
Well,
like, when's he gonna fight me? I never knew.
You were in high school when that game came out, and you said as a kid, like...
High schoolers are children. I
guess. I feel like you appreciate games in a different way then. At least I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a Pokecast now, but...
I mean, I can goof this.
Yeah. This could be like it's a... Dude.
Huh?
If we don't have anything for next week, this is next week's episode.
Sure.
Like, I've always felt that the Johto games were the strongest.
Yeah.
And part of that is nostalgia, because like, I played 300 hours of Silver as a kid, but like, at the time, Gold and Silver really did feel like a sequel.
It had like, it was the biggest jump just in terms of like, it was the biggest jump if you don't consider like metagame shit just on aesthetics. Exactly. and like what you're doing as a player. There's like 50 new things to do.
There's a lot of more raw content, and the fact that you go back to the stomping grounds from the last game and just tear shit up was really satisfying.
Yeah, and then like the fucking
just the idea,
like, mounts, like the fight with Red was just like, oh god damn.
Yeah, that's dope shit. And like the whole fact that like the game just built off of almost everything that Red and Blue did, but also did like this thing where it didn't want to follow in all the footsteps of it. So like a lot of trappings we didn't revisit. And it wasn't until Gen 3 that it's like, okay, this is just a formula shit. That's why that's a big reason why Gen 3 was maligned in its time. And there are a lot of reasons, some fair, some unfair. But one of them is that it felt like, okay, here we are with the formula. Now we're doing the exact same stuff. This isn't really building on anything. It's just in a new location. And a third of the Pokemon who we loved are gone now. That was the thing in Gold and Silver. Everybody was back in there except for very special ones, like the starters and the fossils and the legendaries.
Yeah.
You know, that was the thing. Gen 3 is when it started becoming a formula, and it hasn't broken out of that since. And that's not to say that 2 didn't follow the same formula as the first one, but and at the time, it felt more like a sequel than another iteration.
Yeah, it became so much more alive because there was that sense of continuity. It was a living, breathing world, and especially with the day-night function, and it's like, oh fuck, like what time is it? Oh, I gotta go get a fucking hoodoo, my dude.
Yeah, like I used to not be allowed to play video games on the weekdays because I was an extremely irresponsible child. And then, like, I convinced my mom, like, let me play for an hour, half an hour each day, so I can do, like, the bug catching contest and get Lapras.
Yeah.
You get it was really amazing stuff, and I think it really did hold up in Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Oh, it absolutely did. Heart Gold Soul Silver might be, like, my top tier if I have to rank, like all the installments. Like, it's up there.
I agree. It's a very good, like, the mechanics have leveled out since Gen 4. Gen 3 added almost everything, and then Gen 4 added one more thing that turned out to be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Which is to say the physical special split if you're not following me, which is fair. I don't know, abilities might be, I would say abilities and this physical special split are on the same level of importance.
Yeah.
But, so the mechanics haven't evolved from Gen 4. Like, everything they do since then is like, oh, rotation battles. Get out of here.
No, yeah, come on.
Triple battles. Okay, I actually love those. As that kind of actually all I play now is triple battles.
Oh.
Like when I go online, like, or do like, Battle Chateau or whatever it is, I like the metagame of triple battles a lot better. I actually despise the metagame of single battles because it's all Yomi. Yomi is a fighting game term, coming from the Japanese term that refers to reading, as in reading your opponent.
Uh-huh.
In common vernacular, that you don't have to spend 30 seconds explaining, mind games.
Yeah.
High tier competitive Pokemon singles is all about mind games and faking people out on whether or not you're going to switch and who you're going to switch to, and I hate that.
Yeah, I hate it too.
It stresses me out.
I've had minimal exposure to, like, playing against real people, and every time I did, it was not a fun time.
Like, I kind of enjoy breeding and training up a competitively minded team. Like, I don't go all the way out with, like, IV breeding, cause
no,
I would lose my fucking mind. But I try to get, like, the top percentile of Rattatas up in my team.
Totally.
And I have fun doing it. Like, I have fun trying to come up with a team that works together.
Yeah.
But then everything just evolves into, like, is this prick gonna use Stealth Rock? Okay, he did. So now everything is Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock is such a problem that, like, tournament rules are like, maybe we should fucking get rid of Stealth Rock. Because it makes, like, a huge percentage of Pokemon unusable because of this one goddamn move.
Yeah.
But in triples, half your team is already out there, so switching out doesn't make that much of a difference. And even if it does, it doesn't change the entire course of the round like it does in singles. And also your team gets to work together in concert in ways that just aren't possible in singles. Like my team, from when we in collab were gonna do that gym, and as every time a group of friends of mine are like, let's do a Pokemon League, I'm always the only motherfucker who makes the team. And I made a rock team, and it's triples. And it only works in triples because I've got Tyranitar with Sandstream and a Smooth Stone. Because in Gen 6, they actually made the very good move. Okay. When they added Sandstream in Gen 3 and 4, it caused a sandstorm that would continue until overridden by another weather effect, as opposed to a regular sandstorm which lasts 8 turns with the Smooth Stone. In Gen 6, they got rid of that, which was good because that was the thing that defines singles, is that there's just a sandstorm going all the time. But now it's only for 5 to 8 turns. But in triples, that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I've ever actually tried it more than a couple times. I might have to look into that.
It's a lot more, like, I love helping people make teams. Like, if you want to, like, make a team, to just, like, go online and do, like, rando fights.
Yeah.
Or like do a kind of low impact tournament at Second and Charles.
They do have, they probably will have that.
Yeah, like I can help you make a team that will get you into at least the quarterfinals of that.
Great. I hope the prize is Second and Charles credit.
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta get up. I bought this PS3 and all these HD collections, so I gotta sell all the old shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some I'm gonna keep, like Wind Waker Wind Waker SD, I'm never getting rid of that.
Nah.
Fuck you. Okay, I'll fucking kill somebody who tries to take that from me. But Twilight Princess SD, get out of here!
You don't need it.
I don't want you anymore! You're backwards!
Gosh.
Alola is the first time they've ever really taken a shit on the field in terms of naming the region.
I feel like Unova is also bad when you realize what the joke is.
it's like United
of America.
Oh yeah. It's less immediately bad though.
Yeah.
Alola is immediately terrible.
Cause like what even I don't get it.
Yeah. It's like they just took the most recognizable word, changed one letter into a letter that's already in the word to save on printing costs.
I wonder what the Japanese region name is. If it's the same. Because I think
it seems like it would be easy to cause I think Unova was the only one that was different, honestly.
Yeah, that was Ishu originally.
Yeah. It'd just be Aurora.
Yeah, it would be Aurora. Yeah, let's see here. Alola, Bulbapedia, save me.
Yeah, Bulbapedia is a fucking good wiki.
Yeah. Aurora Chiho. So it's got a second bit that they got rid of.
That means region.
Oh.
Because I think Hoenn has that too. Like, Hoenn, all of them. Yeah, I looked up Hoenn, it's Hoenn Chiho.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's just a thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Aurora. And then, yeah, it's like that across the board. It's because it's pretty easy to say. Well.
Yeah, god fucking damn, I'm glad they're doing simultaneous releases now, because I ruined Black and White for myself. Because that came out like 6 months earlier in Japan, and I was Hercule Soul Silver just came out. I was deep into it, and I was on Bulbapedia like all the time. I knew what all the Pokemon looked like. I knew about like the Elite Four twist. I knew everything about that game. I just went through the motions when I actually played it. I had my whole fucking team picked out already.
I didn't do that, and yet I still found myself not like I never finished it. I tried twice and was able to finish it, and I'm not 100% sure why. The first time I couldn't finish it because like that whole Elite Four fake out thing honestly like rustled my gym jams. Because it was literally like okay, like I did a good job. I put in the work because it's like, you know, I've been into Pokemon since I was like a small baby child, so I've only in recent years even been able to like get past the first Elite Four man. Like I'm not good at video games. And so, like, to tell me that, because, like, you know, a lot of games, a lot of the post-game stuff is, like, you can fight the Elite Four, but they're stronger now, and sure, I get it. But to make me do it.
Yeah.
To tell me that just because these, like, old men crashed your roof and ran away, that not only do I gotta go find them, but you're not gonna give me a bye when I get back. And in the time I'm out there, you're gonna just do nothing but push-ups. Like, what?
You're gonna go catch 2 more Pokemon, you chicken shit?
Yeah.
They had 4. That was... It's kind of suspicious, actually, if you think about it.
Were you planning this?
The thing about Black and White, and I talked about this at the time, I feel like its story was really ill-advised. I don't fault Pokemon for trying to have a story, because I'm one of those guys, like, I say this about fighting games. Just because the standard is that there's no story doesn't mean you shouldn't fucking try. And I give them credit for giving it a shot, but they went to, like, the worst direction they could have. Like, the question of, like, Pokemon slavery and agency and everything, and like, you know, cockfighting if you want to go all the way to the other end of it. Like, those jokes have been around since 1996.
Yeah.
And some of them are terrible and sometimes people are really good at it. I think Pokemon is an infinite source of comedy, but also an infinite source of just atrocious comedy.
Absolutely. There's
but
a lot of easy jokes that everyone makes 20 fucking times.
Easy, terrible, horrible jokes. But I feel like that kind of question, like, that sort of, you know, look into the world of Pokemon is the territory of satirists, because Pokemon can't answer that question in any satisfying way. Because, like, the way I see it is like, yeah, it is kind of fucked up. Maybe we could still, like, catch Pokemon, not have them fight and everything, but, you know, they had to write, like, oh, this is what Pokemon want. But the main way that they wrote the way out of it is that Flare? Plasma.
Yeah.
Team Plasma were hypocrites. Which is like So it's just like, oh, they were a bunch of shitheads, so we don't even have to worry about the legitimate points they were raising.
Yeah, no, totally.
It's kind of like, season 1 of Korra. Amon was not entirely wrong.
No.
But he was a real shithead about it, so everybody got to ignore the problem.
Yeah, although I do feel that, like, both him and Team Plasma were also kind of, like, hyperbolizing the discourse.
Yeah.
Like if you want to discuss like the issue at hand, then sure, but like they turned it into propaganda.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the Pokemon Adventures handle that, because Pokemon Adventures is great.
Yeah,
I've actually
want to read that.
I read the first, like, box set of Pokemon Adventures Black and White, and it was very good. But it was, I think it got up to, like, the creepy Ferris wheel scene with N.
I fucking love that scene.
Yeah. But, so I feel like after Black and White, they're not going to try doing a story thing again.
Yeah.
And
did you play Black and White 2 and have any idea how that works out narratively? Because I just didn't even touch it.
Nina did.
Okay. Dang.
Nina did and enjoyed it. We did what I call a motherfucker run for that, or a PEPK, which stands for Precision Engineered Pokemon Killers.
Oh.
I initially didn't want Heart Gold, because I'm like, I played that game for 300 hours back in 1999. I know it back to front. I don't want to play it again. But my sister got it for my birthday because I hadn't really expressed it yet.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I'll play this. I started with Cyndaquil, got to like, first time I'm like, blah, and then I had an idea. In Platinum, because I'm a psycho crazy man, I made a living Pokedex.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with,
I
assume you're
had
familiar?
one, I had a living Kento Dex in Heart Gold. I still have
cool.
it. It should still be there.
Yeah, for a person who's not familiar with a living Pokedex, you fill your storage with one of every species. Now, that doesn't mean like one of every family to have like the Pokedex. It means you got a Bulbasaur, you got a Ivysaur, you got a Venusaur, you got all of those guys. So what that did is it gave me not only access to everybody, but a huge pool of like multiple natures and egg moves to breed from.
Yeah.
So I bred a team of 8 guys who I had always liked but never really used before. And also Tyranitar, Larvitar, because like, I used him post-game in Silver, but like, that's not the same thing. So the idea is that, and I limited myself to just Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon for this. So, instead of, because the thing is, every time you play through the game, you've kind of got the same pool of Pokemon to choose from, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I don't care for about Nuzlocke runs, because like, you were gonna catch that fucking Rattata anyway.
Yeah.
And you were gonna be stuck using it for the same amount of time anyway. So the team was Larvitar, or let's go fully evolved. Tyranitar, Houndoom, Jolteon, Kingdra, Ursaring, Xatu, and then a Gengar and a Sunflora, which I later dropped because they were a little redundant.
Ah.
And I had to like really put into high gear for the Elite Four. I stuck with them until the Elite Four. And I had a lot of fun doing that. Like, cause it's Pokemon that I like that I've never gotten to use before. And it's something I've shown Nina how to do. And that's how she did Black 2, White 2, cause she's like, I'm not catching these same fuckers again. So if you do need to replay a game, that's a fun way to, I think that's a really fun way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, ideally you have, like, their final move list from the jump. It's not a hard way to play the game, because you're also gonna have boosted experience. But it's a way to play with Pokemon you wouldn't be able to play with otherwise. And I've been thinking about doing a Nuzlocke hybrid of that, where I just, like, make 12 of them, and that's it. But, like, I don't have fucking time to play Pokemon right now, dude. I got, like, 20 other games I'm trying to play.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I'll play this new one when it comes out, obviously, but like, I can't go back and replay. Because it's not just, I replay Pokemon. I've also got to breed 12 fuckers.
Yeah, it's a whole
And I'm
deal.
a little particular about, like, I gotta get the right egg moves in there. I want to get a good nature, like, not necessarily the best nature. I want to make sure they got the right ability. Because usually they got one good ability and one chicken dick ability.
That whole thing, like, like every time they talk about Pokemon, a bunch of people are like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go back and play like whatever my favorite gen was before this comes out," and I'm like, boy, like I wish I had that kind of fucking time on my hands to do.
I bet a lot of people don't finish that.
Probably not, but I don't even start. I don't even bother starting.
Yeah.
And that's like that. It was especially a no start when they ported like red, blue, yellow to the 3DS, because like not only was it a matter of like I don't have the time, but it's like have you played those games since 1997?
If you haven't, here's the thing: if you didn't play them in 1997, you're gonna hate them.
Yeah,
you need to have nostalgia to be able to swallow Gen 1 at all. Hell, like this is kind of a disgusting thing to propose. I think they should remake Gen 1 again. 2 reasons. 1, Fire Red Leaf Green was in Gen 3, which means that it was before the physical special split that really did change everything.
Uh-huh.
And 2, the GBA sound chip was horrible, and the Gen 1 soundtrack is really good.
Yeah.
It deserves better.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's especially likely considering that they just re-released these first ones with forwards compatibility to Gen 7. Yeah, guys, the interface in Gen 1 is inexcusably bad.
Yeah.
Like, not to get all remember the 90s on you, but like, it's so much better now. You got it so much better now. Like, it used to be that if you had to manually change boxes.
Yep, that's my biggest thing.
And so, first of all, if you deposited in a box, it was gone. Because it only displayed the nickname, so if you nicknamed something and you didn't remember what that was, it's fucking, you have to withdraw it and it's a pain in the dick to do it. But the boxes would become full and they wouldn't roll over like they did starting in Gen 3. So I remember being in the Safari Zone and I found like Chansey or Tauros or Kangaskhan, all of which have a 1% appearance rate in very specific areas of the Safari Zone. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm king shit of fuck mountain. I'm gonna be the guy with the Tauros. Box is full. Can't throw a ball. It's miserable.
It's the worst. And then just also like the advent of not like only being able to have a faster means of the shitty slow walk outdoors.
That was until Gen 4. Because in Gen 3 they added running, but you could also only do that outdoors.
Yeah, I remember that now. That was so dumb. I remember the first time they let you run in a Pokemon Center. I felt like I was being rude.
Yeah.
Just like, ooh, I'm not supposed to. Oh, Pokemon's
Did
great.
you ever play the GameCube games?
What you mean, Pokemon XD and Gale of Darkness?
That was it was Coliseum and then XD Gale of Darkness.
Right, dumb. I only played Coliseum and I only played it for a little bit because like
it's bad.
My only issue was the only means of travel was fast travel. And then you would get to these small areas and there wasn't a whole lot going on. Like the rest of it was like whatever. I liked Mirror Bee.
Yeah, Mirror Bee was great. I kind of liked how it was all double battles, although because they're kind of more interesting, but you didn't really have a chance to really like plan your team around that. But like the fact that it was all trainer battles, and every time you caught a Pokemon, which was really to say you stole it from somebody, it was a piece of shit for like the equivalent of 15 levels until you could fix it.
Yeah. I liked that the main character is literally someone's DeviantArt OC trainer.
Yeah.
Just some scene boy with an Umbreon and an Espeon.
Ugh. And then your partner character just looked like a low poly background character.
Yeah, I don't even remember anything about her.
It was like a fundamentally like really it wasn't a fun game.
No. Which is sad because it's like I always do like it when Pokemon goes off and does different stuff, because when it does, it's always like when it's good, it's great.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, and even like I still continue to be baffled that there's never been a follow up like that. This isn't anything new I'm proposing, but it's like
I think there was a DSiWare game nobody bought, or maybe I think it was 3DS. It was a 3DS download game that used like it would have been 3DS. It used like the camera.
Yeah.
It's like an ARG bullshit thing for Black. It was for Black 2, White 2. I don't know what system it fucking came out for.
But
because it was the alternate forms of those Shinto god Pokemon.
Oh yeah. But it's like they keep and like to make it even worse, like Nintendo keeps coming out with like very hardware gimmicky stuff that you can use to make a Pokemon Snap game.
Yeah, like listen, you got 12 more months of Wii U. Just squeeze it out there.
Like,
listen,
it's a rail shooter.
It's a rail photo game.
And like...
It's perfect. It's the only good thing you could use that goddamn camera for.
Like,
listen, you fucked up in every conceivable way with Star Fox Zero's controls.
To make it even
you
worse,
fucked up what should have finally been a good Star Fox game.
You know what camera-based franchise did come out with, like, a game specifically for the Wii U's fucking tablet thing? Fatal Frame.
Yeah, the other one.
Like, a very non-Nintendo type property.
Yeah, I think Nintendo might have exclusive rights for that, because there are Fatal Frame trophies in Smash Bros. 4.
Dang. I didn't know that.
And there was one Fatal Frame game where, like, an unlockable costume was a Zero Suit.
That's hysterical.
I think that may have been a Wii game. Like, I think Nintendo has exclusive rights to Fatal Frame, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, it does. I mean, only with the... Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway...
I think
we're good.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been doing this dance, you and I, for 18 years, I guess. It's the 20th anniversary, but that's in Japan.
I mean, I think it only took an extra year to come out in the States.
I feel like I was 7.
Yeah, I was 7.
So yeah, 18 years. So, I mean, are you ever not gonna buy the next Pokemon game?
I'm gonna buy every goddamn one. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Every
color-based game.
Yeah. Man, if they remake Gen 4, Gen 4 was over 10 fucking years ago, but it still feels too soon.
I mean, it's less that it feels too soon and more like why.
Oh, it's also completely unnecessary because nothing has changed mechanically.
Yeah. That's always been the reasoning. How do you feel, like, probably the only, like, this is just one last thing I want to ask is, how do you feel about the weird things they've been doing with, like, the special thirds or lack thereof lately? Just the weird shit that started with Black and White 2.
This is unfortunately not a quick answer, but it's something I've thought about a lot.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Heart Gold Soul Silver was timed either deliberately or coincidentally perfectly to coincide with the fact that me, a person who was the first generation of Pokemon, who was 7 years old when it first dropped in the United States. I was just going into college with, some degree of, weird disposable income that I was supposed to be spending on books. And I was in close proximity with a lot of people in the same situation where they would also, like, kind of have the money to buy a DS and Heart Gold. And there was that weird thing that I noticed and tried to make stand-up comedy about, how, like, everybody who was going into college had this immediate midlife crisis where we were already trying to recapture our childhoods that just ended.
Yeah. So
there was a huge confluence of stuff where the market was there was a market of people who had most likely fallen off for generation 3 and 4 to come back into Pokemon with Heart Gold Soul Silver, with all this nostalgia shit. Cause obviously kids younger than 10 have always bought the new Pokemon. That's never been an issue.
Yeah.
But they were able to expand their market back into older kids with Heart Gold Soul Silver. They're like, this is some shit. We gotta keep an eye on this. So the next year they leveraged that to come out with a new gen, Black and White. And then, the 3DS started coming out, and Nintendo's like, we can't sell these fucking things to save our lives. Which, if you remember, in the first year or two of the 3DS was the case. It sold very poorly.
Yeah.
So they approached Game Freak and they're like, please make a Pokemon game for the 3DS so we can sell 1,000 of them per person. 1,000 is not a lot. But it will be a killer app for the 3DS and we will sell a ton of them. They're like, okay, but we just started this new generation. We were going to do a remake of Gen 3. There is evidence in the data of Black and White that they were going to do a Gen 3 remake in Gen 5.
Yeah.
There's solid evidence for that. We're going to do a Gen 3 remake and then do our third version. They're like, come on, guys, please make this other thing. So like, let's just do one more game for Unova before we move on. So but instead of just making a gray, they went kind of all out. They did a bit more because they know this is going to be the last of Gen 5 and only a 2-year gen, which is by far the shortest gen. So they made Black 2, White 2. Then they made X and Y, the 3DS one they had to make so Nintendo would keep them on the payroll. Then they could finally make their Gen 3 remake. And it turned out that by that point, the people who were 7 to 10 when Gen 3 came out were now going into college. I noticed this more so, because I was still kind of on Tumblr regularly then, and all like the fucking kids there were freaking out about it, whereas people my age were like, Gen 3 was only okay.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of younger people I know are like, oh yeah, no, Gen 3 was my first gen, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and like, if it's your first gen, I totally get wanting to replay it. And like, I had no interest in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I didn't get them. I'm not gonna begrudge anybody who wants it. And frankly, if there's, kids, there's gonna be kids who grew up on Diamond and Pearl who are gonna be of that age soon where they want to revisit it. Fuck them, let them have it.
Oh, absolutely.
And Nina also got Alpha Ruby, because Nina's kind of crazy because she played Yellow and then she played Black.
Wow.
So she loves Black because it was a huge deal for her.
There's so many things.
It's so much. She's like, this is so much better. The Pokemon look like what they're supposed to, and more than one type is useful.
Oh man, that's hysterical.
Lucy's very adamant that she wants a dragon-typed evolution. It should be like a Falcor Haku dog dragon.
I mean, that would be insane.
Well, if they're gonna make another evolution, there's a pattern in place that says that it should be dragon. And what that is that all the current evolutions, save for Sylveon for obvious reasons, are of types that before the physical special split were special types. Fire, water, electric, ice, psychic, dark, grass. Those are the special types.
Yeah.
Fairy is grouped in kind of unofficially with the special types because they don't exist anymore. The only other one is dragon.
Oh yeah. Shit. Well, I hope they do that. I love evolutions. They're the best.
Here's the thing. You love them. You love them a lot. You have nothing on Nina. Actually, when they came out with, Glaceon and Leafeon, she was mad because she could no longer have a team of all of them.
That's true. Yeah, that is the biggest thing now. That's like, there's too many. Yeah.
Because before she could have all 5 and then Eevee in there doing like takedown with stab. As if she knew what stab was. Even now, like, I'm sure she understands the concept of stab. If I said stab, I'm not sure she would recognize it immediately.
I know. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she knows the concept because that's been around forever. And it just makes sense.
But yeah, I think
we could be done now. I think I'm done espousing theory. What was that question that you asked?
Why aren't there any more third games?
Oh, I think it's just been a weird pattern where they haven't been able to put them at, like, I guess by the point they came out with, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they're like, fuck those.
Yeah, I think just like now that the new pattern is remakes.
Yeah, the new pattern is remake, and like to just not do them because like
It's been long enough now to where it's like it's no longer expected anymore. If anything, it's expected that they won't be made.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb because they still, for Black and for X, they still keep cutting out all the shit that they normally put in the third version, like move tutors. I fucking rely on those, dude.
Also, they still keep, they don't release the games, they still make what is clearly this non-existent game's legendary box art cover Pokemon.
Yeah, like, I feel like both times they planned on making it and then they didn't.
Yeah.
What would the in-between of the sun and moon be? Earth? It would be Earth.
Oh.
And it's just Torterra on the box. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm back!
It's a bunch of Torterras stacked on top of each other all the way down.
It's a mega evolution of Torterra.
If we can have a Doug trio, we can have several Torterras standing on top of each other. Fuck you.
Man, Gen 1 was just like, why does this one evolve to? I don't know, 3 of it. They did that like a bunch of times.
Okay, what about this one? Make it bigger, turn it upside down.
Make the face
Nicer.
like actually less detailed.
Yeah. Make the face less Vegeta, more Krillin. Actually, more Poir.
Okay. All right. No, I was with you, and then you're like, "Oh, here's a character you don't fucking know, Nicky."
It's the little cat that followed Yamcha around.
Okay, I do that guy. Let's be done.
Yeah. So I guess like at this point it's a whole episode. We should put it up as I guess the first Toon Goons Gaiden.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Like this is a precursor to Guilty Goons.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: we might do this again with Nina.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, yes.
Yeah. Peace out. I continue to be Tooch.
I give Nicky all the time.